What's going on, everybody? We're about to talk about all the cool stuff that's happening in the NFT space this week right now. And I have a guest who we haven't seen in a while. My main man, Worldwide Webs, is back. What's going on, buddy?
Yeah, what's going on, Michael? I'm here today to talk about a few cool things that are happening in the NFT space. We're going to jump straight into it. The first thing is actually something, it's actually quite a small nugget of information, but it really kind of solidifies what this guy is doing in the NFT space. And I'm talking about Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg's been an early adopter of everything, right? He's always engaged in new stuff, and NFTs are no different. We've done a couple of videos previously around Snoop Dogg and the stuff that he's been doing, but it just keeps on coming. So what I'm going to start with is he recently, we know he's partnered with Gala Games, Gala Music, Gala Games, Gala Music, the same thing. But he recently did a live stream that you can see here with himself, Bucks, who's the CEO of Gala Games, Gala Music, Ice Cube, and one of the newer artists, October London, who's released some stuff on Gala Music as well. And he dropped a couple of things in there that were quite interesting, and he talks a little bit about, and I've got a few really, really great quotes from him that I'm going to share in a minute. But he dropped something in there around, hey, hell, I might actually release nothing but a G thing as an NFT next month. So we don't know if that's actually going to happen. That was the kind of nugget that was, but that was definitely kind of something that he alluded to. And who knows with this guy, he's constantly doing stuff. I mean, if we can just give a quick recap of what Snoop's done recently, especially in the NFT space, doxed himself after having a kind of alias as Cosimo de Medici. He released the Journey of the Dog, like one-off auction, which I think that was actually April last year. So it was actually quite a while ago. So he's pretty early onto the NFT thing. He then jumped in and did a bunch of stuff with Sandbox around early access passes to metaverse parties, as well as the private party access passes as well. Not to mention that he did those Stashbox NFTs, which we talked about recently, sold over $44 million worth of those. And he did release the doggies. Don't think they did as well as he probably hoped. I actually thought they were pretty cool, the doggy collection, if anyone's seen them. But now he's jumping into this new thing with Death Row Records.
One thing, and I'm going to share before we go on. One thing I'll kind of add, and I think we talked about it in past videos when we talking about drops from Floyd Mayweather and Shaq and some of the others with me and Dan, where it wasn't as successful. And I think the thing I love about Web3 is the transparency around everything. Because if you're somebody that's like a celebrity and you just do like a one-off drop and you're partnering with whoever, and you saying, oh, you're going to get exclusive access to me and autograph stuff, like people see right through it. You're not like a originator in the space. So I love the way that Snoop, kind of like he does with everything, is approaching this. It's like, hey, I'm really about this. I believe in Web3. I literally bought Death Row back to turn it into an NFT label. I've done countless amounts of drops and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So people are like, yeah, Snoop's one of us. He's not just an impersonator or celebrity who's trying to use their fame to kind of jump in. So I just kind of want to throw that out there because that's something I really love about Web3. Like, your celebrity doesn't really matter.
That's a really, really good point, and it ties into something, a quote that I'm going to share in a second. As you can see on the Death Row thing, I mean, you go to their website, one of the first tabs up the top is NFTs, right? So I'm sure that wasn't there previously, but as Snoop's kind of come in, this has become a big part of what they're doing. So there's all of this kind of cool stuff happening. But in this chat that they had here, he dropped another quote. And this quote, it really speaks to me as someone who's been involved in the music industry, and I probably consider myself reasonably old school, being involved in music since the 90s. As opposed to kind of where it's going now with kind of a lot of internet fame and maybe the kind of, I guess the personality of maybe some of the artists isn't quite the same as people like Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube. And this is what he says. He says, we're fan orientated. We like being up close and personal. We're old school artists who believe in signing autographs and taking pictures. So if we can give our fans the chance to have and hold something of ours as much as we can, that's what Death Row Records going to be all about. Which I really, really like that. I thought that really, really kind of shows that kind of community side of things. And, he's a big artist and probably people see him as this kind of big celebrity up on a pedestal, but he's really not on a pedestal. I mean, he comes from places just, like a regular guy. He knows that, and he's done the hard work. So he really believes in NFT as part of a kind of community, and I think that he's really, really going in the right direction with this. I'm not sure if you've got any thoughts on that at all, Michael.
I agree 100%. It's the same thing what I said before. Like, Snoop is really somebody who believes in Web3, like he's putting his money and his assets where his mouth is. Like, I think you said it all.
All right, so in some other news, I want to talk today a little bit about Fractal. Now, if anyone is familiar with the streaming platform Twitch, Fractal is a website created by Justin Kan, one of the co-founders of Twitch. And essentially what Fractal does is it sells NFT game virtual assets, I guess, if you want to call it that. And everything from kind of like pets and weapons and avatars, all based on the Solana blockchain. Now, one thing I think is really cool about this, and the fact that you've got kind of some of these big kind of names like Justin Kan behind it, is that this is actually one of the first things I thought of when NFTs came out. I'm like, how good would they be in the gaming space? And he's essentially had that same sort of vision, and he has generated recently $35 million from investors to work on this project. So some of those investors are actually people like the Zynga founder, Mark Pincus. He's got some people from Animoca Brands, Coinbase, different Solana ventures. The names kind of go on and on. There's a lot of people involved in this kind of project. And yeah, I have
a couple of thoughts about it. Like, when I think about like somebody like Justin Kan, for a lot of you who don't know, I remember this had to be like in 2000, I'm gonna say 2008 or 9. It was a time where I was like, I've always been a nerd and early on stuff, so I wanted to live stream DJ sets, because I've seen people like DJ A-Track and other people who I was working with, like, hey, you can actually live stream your stuff. And I actually figured it out and was able to do like live streams from our place in Vegas and have people pay and have fun like doing that. I'm gonna try to find those, and have fun doing that. But at the time, there was this platform called Justin.tv. Right? I don't know if you remember that, Luke, but I don't know if
I do actually. I do.
So Justin.tv was actually Justin Kan's company, where, long story short, ended up becoming Twitch after he sold it to Amazon for a lot of money. But it started as Justin.tv, and I think only people that were really like kind of either nerdy or into like live streaming. Another one of my favorite music producers, but who goes by the name of Jess Blaze, who was like a huge producer for Jay-Z amongst others, which is just crazy dope. I knew about it because he used to actually live stream himself, producing records on there. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna start live streaming on there, because I seen A-Track doing it and other people as well. And it ended up becoming Twitch, but it actually started off as just a live streaming platform that a lot of people in the creative industry used to kind of connect to their fans. So I've always been a fan of Justin and what he's doing. And more recently, if you go to his YouTube and just type his name, Justin Kan, that's Kan, you'll see his YouTube channel where he tells the story of what it was like to sell like Twitch to Amazon and how he felt when he got that huge check to come through, and entrepreneurship and things like that as well. So I feel like every company needs a charismatic leader, and I think Justin really is that, and he's somebody that's really authentic. So that's why I believe in something like Fractal and an NFT marketplace there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for reminding me about that. I actually remember watching some stuff on Justin TV a very long time ago. I actually didn't know the kind of integration the progression into kind of Twitch as well. So thanks for sharing that with me. That's really, really cool. And one of the things I want to say on this is, I really kind of believe in this space, because you think about all the kind of in-game kind of purchases that have come up probably in the last 5 to 10 years with games, right? Essentially, like, you can buy them and they kind of look cool, but who really sees them? Like, what value do they really add, right? But when you're actually, something's an NFT where it could be bought and sold and traded and won, and like really kind of, it's nearly treating kind of in-game assets as an investment.
It's smart.
I think it's really smart, and I think I personally believe it's the future. I think something like Fractal is going to do some really cool things. Can I share one other thing that Fractal's actually doing that I think is going to be cool? It's something that's not fully adopted yet. I know they're aware of that, but it's something they've got in place. So I'm just going to jump over here to fractals. So fractals are an NFT in themselves. So they're part of the kind of fractal ecosystem. Essentially, you can come in, you can purchase fractals. They're purchased with Solana. There's different levels of fraction. They have different powers, I guess, if you want to call it that. And with the price of Solana right now, it's probably actually a reasonably cheap investment. What they're going to actually do is they're actually working to incorporate them into games so that you can collect fractals. Having different fractals might give you different powers or benefits. So it looks like they're working with gaming developers to actually incorporate fractals. And I'm sure with Justin behind it, this is going to be a great success. So you're probably likely to see some of these little NFTs around the place in some of your favorite games.
It's super dope, man. It's one of those things I think about. Like, for instance, like I don't play games a lot anymore. I used to when I had no kids and was younger and stuff, but religiously, since I'm a huge sports fan, I buy NBA 2K and Madden. Some years I play them, some years I don't, but I buy them because I have to have them, And one thing that I've seen over the years is like Ultimate Team in Madden and NBA 2K. Like, for instance, I have like my player who I scan my face in, and I can buy like clothes and merch and all these other collectibles for them, and they cost real money, right? So literally the other day I got bored and I was like, let me just put like $70 so I can kind of upgrade my player in here. But here's the thing, like that stuff doesn't go with me. I can't make any money off of that. There's so many people who grind their butts off on Madden and on NBA 2K without seeing any kind of end result money off of it. So as soon as somebody like Fractal or another company who I'll mention quickly, Mutable X, who's actually based here in Australia, who's actually raised $200 million and is hiring everybody in sight in Australia, is another company who's doing a lot of stuff around NFT gaming, and they're layer 2 that's built on Ethereum. But as soon as one of these companies figure it out, it's gonna be crazy, man. Like I go in right now, I can turn on NBA 2K and I see people who are just like playing in the park and trying to get their my player up to a certain level so they can compete, but they're not getting any kind of financial gain or incentive on it. So I think gaming in the NFT space is really gonna be a leader going forward.
Absolutely agree. I think like I know a lot of stuff that Fractal's doing is trying to incorporate some kind of grinding for whitelist aspect into games using fractals. I don't know exactly how that's going to come about yet, but I think that's really cool because it encourages people to play the games where they get these rewards, which actually could turn into an investment that's has value. It's actually a really genius idea. I'm super excited about where it's going to go. And I honestly believe Fractal's probably going to be one of the places to take it to its full extent. I know Gala Games are doing some cool stuff. They've got some incorporation with games like The Walking Dead at the moment, where you can actually buy like kind of weapons and incorporate them into the game and their actual NFTs. But I think Fractal's going to be one of those kind of leaders in the space.
Dope. Guys, if you like this video, check out the playlist above where we actually have some other videos where we talk about gaming and music NFTs. Guys, until next time, this is your boy Michael T and your man Worldwide Webs. We are out. Peace.
Peace.